Dom Giordano, pinch hitting for Lou Dobbs, and it is such a pleasure to continue the tradition here on the Dobbs Show, take an issue and follow through on it fully by bringing with us from California, Congressman Darrell Issa, to discuss this botched operation by the ATF. Congressman, welcome back to the Lou Dobbs program.
Well, Dom, thanks for having me on, and this is being very kind to call it a botched operation rather than a flawed concept. But certainly there were mistakes made even after the mistake of doing this program began.
Give me a sense, Congressman, if you will, your sense of what was done and who did it so far for listeners and where you are with your investigation now.
Well, where we are with the investigation is that whistleblowers are coming to us in a fast and furious way about this program, once called Fast and Furious. On the 4th of July itself, we interviewed the acting ATF director, and he opened up, mostly by answering questions that we had already gotten from other whistleblowers, he opened up a vast new area of certainty as to the other agencies that knew and didn't tell ATF what they were doing. This includes knowledge that ATF was denied, so that as they thought, well, we're doing this part of the program, somebody else is doing the other part, we discovered there wasn't anyone. Also that DEA and other organizations actually knew the information that ATF thought they were seeking to get. Here's one that shocks every audience. In Mexico City, I meet with the actual agents who were on the receiving end of these guns and the violence that these cartels were causing, 34,000 Mexicans dead. They were not only not told about Fast and Furious, if they found a weapon from this program, these 2,000-plus weapons that walked, and they typed in the serial number, they got a false indication, so they didn't even know that it was a weapon that was being tracked. They were so in the dark, they didn't even know who to call when they found the weapons. And as a result, of course, there really is no circle of finding any kind of truth, but rather this is simply a poorly thought of program that included stovepiping, except at the Department of Justice, where everything seems to focus on Lanny Brewer and other key people close to Eric Holder.
What will you do then, Congressman? What is your procedure? We had on Senator Grassley yesterday. He told us what he's doing. What does Congressman Issa do now?
Well, first of all, Senator Grassley has been wonderful. He started on this with letters that the administration said they wouldn't answer because he wasn't a chairman. He came to me and said, well, you're a chairman, you write the letter. I wrote the letter, and what I got was black pieces of paper that used to be white, where they redacted all the information, said, here's what you want. What we're both doing is working together, comparing the people that come to each of us, making sure we interview them. He's at my interviews, I'm at his. And what we're finding is two things. The actual failure of Fast and Furious, what was wrong and why it was wrong. But we're also finding a culture at the Department of Justice that is undermining the successful investigations and prosecutions that they claim they want to do, particularly when it comes to guns. It's almost like a pattern of failure from the start when it comes to actually stopping bad people from getting guns.
And what would possibly be, as I said, and you said maybe I was being kind, that this is botched, do you see any possible agenda here? Not that you're alleging it, but other than it's botched and it's incompetency, what else would be in play?
Often what happens in a new administration is they look for something that's a, quote, big win. It does seem like it could have been an attempt to get a, quote, big win and be careless at the collateral damage, the thousands of Mexicans and now one for sure and probably two American federal agents who are dead. It seems like they wanted so badly to get a big hit that they threw together a loose program, a program that actually included paid informants being part of the buying and selling of these weapons. It's an amazing story of wanting so badly to do something that all the safeguards were off. Additionally, there's claims in wiretaps that we've been told of that clearly show that they knew enough to know what they were doing was inherently wrong. And that's where our investigation has to continue. It's almost flowed past the alcohol, tobacco, and fire as an agency, and now it's really looking at Department of Justice and how they do business with all the different agencies and their vast authority.
Well, Congressman, I can speak for myself, and I think a lot of the listeners, not only in this, but the other things that you're doing with your investigatory power, that we are thrilled that you're there and you're making, I think, steady and reasoned progress on all these issues.
Well, thank you. I said the other day that it's a little bit of a disappointment after 6 months because so much of a new Congress, new chairman, change in who runs, which party's running the House, causes a lot of slow starts. But my investigators have worked day, night, and legal holidays, and done a lot to help us catch up on a lot of areas, and not just Fast and Furious. Obviously, we have the excesses going on at the National Labor Relations Board, where they're trying to unionize Delta Airlines, trying to stop Boeing from building new plants and hiring thousands of workers in South Carolina. So these investigations are just really getting going to where they've made the case that now Congress has to act on.
Congressman, thank you. Thanks for the time today on the Lou Dobbs program.
Well, thank you, and talk to you soon, Dom.
Congressman Issa here, and again, I'm proud to be part of this when I have a chance to sit in for Lou. That's what we do here at the Lou Dobbs program. This is a very, very important issue. You heard Grassley yesterday. You've heard Issa, who has more subpoena power and more juice as the chairman, and I think he's making progress at getting at the bottom. But I think he put it great. Was it just an attempt to have a big win, and the hell with the consequences, including dead Mexicans and dead Border Patrol? And what kind of cover-up is going on now at the Holder Justice Department around it?